Good morning. It's me again. I am so lucky to have such an amazing advisory group and to have the opportunity to be up here again this week. Side note, we will not be doing a selfie for advisory in front of everyone today, but if, the advisory can meet afterwards so we can get a picture with Arghya to celebrate her. I have to be honest, last week I told you I'd been writing Louise's counselor talk since she was a freshman. I have not been writing Arghya since she was a freshman because as a freshman, I was not sure Arghya was actually ever going to talk to anybody when she first got here. She was so quiet. And then it was so neat. I was looking over past comments about her. Even her sophomore year, she really began to come out of her shell. And I remember the first dance her sophomore year, I looked at a group of students like gathered around, and there was Arghya like in the middle, like dancing away. And so I knew from there that she was going to just flourish. And people who knew her before that also already knew that. I just hadn't figured that out about her yet. After Arghya's sophomore year, we had a conversation about what leadership looked like. Arghya knew she wanted to be a leader at school. She wasn't always so concerned about the title. She just knew she wanted to be a leader. So we talked about ways that she already was a leader and the kind of leader that she wanted to be. And we made her why, right? What was her priority for being here? And her junior year, without much of a title, Arghya became a very strong leader in our community, and that became obvious to other people, and she was voted onto the counselor body and the honor committee as well. And it's just, it's obvious that many people respect and see her as a leader, and that's been fun for me to see her towards full stature journey. And I want to talk about journeys. One really cool thing about the Thallapragada family is that they travel a fair amount. They do a lot of road trips. And what else is really cool is they don't just go to like tourist place. And I think Mr. Knagable could really appreciate this because his family also likes to visit quirky cities. But they'll go places, they'll be like, where are you guys going for spring break? They'll be like, we're going to Cincinnati. I'm like, what are you going to do in Cincinnati? Or whatever. They're always going to really cool places. So have a little gift for Arghya and her family. It's a puzzle of the United States so they can put it together and then maybe put stickers to all the states they've been to. So, and just as a side note, when I was trying to figure out how I was going to write this, I was going to write if Arghya was a state, what state would she be? And that got super weird super fast. But our advisory decided that Arghya would be Arizona because she's underrated but beautiful. And that was basically what they all came up with. So I guess they don't know a lot of old people because Arizona is not underrated to old people. So I'm going to take an opportunity to talk about myself real quickly. I grew up in Utah, and if you're from Utah, there aren't very many celebrities. And so we get real excited when there is a celebrity from Utah, and there's a country singer named Chris Ledoux, and he sings a song that like Rascal Flatts has also sung, but he sang it first, and it's called Life is a Highway. And so I want to talk about the idea of life being a highway, also going to quote Ralph Waldo Emerson, who famously said that life is a journey and not a destination. And I'm so excited that you're going on this journey, and I can't just wait to see what the next part of it looks like. I asked some of your friends to help me make a playlist for you, like with a theme of life being a journey. So if they were going to go on a road trip with you, they all picked out songs that they would. And you guys who are all my age know we would have made a thick CD and like written on it with marker. But instead I just put it in a card so she can put it on her Spotify playlist because I don't really know how to make a Spotify playlist. So here we go. This is the playlist from your friends. So Lily chose Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. Because when we were younger, it was a running joke at school that Arghya would grow up to be the first female president. She said it was kind of a running joke because there was always a part of everyone that thought it could be true. That even at the age of 11, Arghya was a force to be reckoned with. She had bountiful energy, ambition that the rest of our preteen brains could not comprehend, and she was an incredible student. This all still holds true today, of course. This song is perfect for Arghya's road trip because it speaks to this ambition, and it does so in an upbeat way. As driven, intelligent, and thoughtful as Arghya is, she has never been one to take herself too seriously, which has and will serve her well. That's just from Lily. Eli said, my song is Walk of Life by Dire Straits. He said because there's never a dull moment with Arghya, and she's driven, intelligent, and super fun to annoy. Get to know her, and you will learn something new every day, and she's one of the most goofy people you will meet. Virginia said she chose I'll Make a Man Out of You from Mulan because you can't have an Arghya road trip without this song. And she said every time that y'all have been in the car together, you've screamed this song at the top of your lungs. So that's a road trip must. Amog was very succinct. Fergalicious by Fergie because you love it and he hates it. That's like such a little brother-sister thing. I love it. Okay, Kate chose The Climb by Hannah Montana. First of all, it is a total bop and perfect for headbanging, a heart-to-heart, or relaxation. And Kate picked this song for you because you're always able to persevere through whatever life throws at you and to take it with poise and humor. You're also a music connoisseur, just like Hannah Montana, and you rock climb, which are both reasons that Arghya is the coolest person around. Jasmine chose Doo-Wop, also known as That Thing, by Lauryn Hill, because it's a fun, joyous song that is still very sophisticated and confident, and it's made by a badass woman. Arghya is all of those things. Xavier chose Shake It Off by Taylor Swift because Taylor Swift is, Taylor Swift. And he also picked that song because she's always moving forward and has her eyes locked on her goals. Colin said he would choose All Star by Smash Mouth. He didn't say why.
Okay.
So this one is anonymous, but this person said you'll know who it is. SIMP, Squirrels in My Pants from Phineas and Ferb. That person said you'll know who they are. KC says Country Roads. It is the correct answer for what would be the road trip song for you. She said it's an inside joke, but you also enjoy the campiness of it and the friendship it makes people feel. And she says you unironically enjoy it, even though you listen to it ironically. And then I also asked your mom. So your mom clearly knows you well. She says, Arghya, this is a hard question because Arghya loves so many songs. She loves Taylor Swift. She said, here are some other ones. So Country Roads by John Denver, because this makes her homesick and she plays it on road trips. You're So Vain by Carly Simon, just because you like to sing it. The Climb, also by Miley Cyrus, because you guys used to listen to this a lot when you were younger. Señorita by Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes, because it's a favorite for both of y'all, and sometimes if you're pulling into your driveway, y'all will pull back out and drive around until the song finishes, which I just love so much. It makes me like a little tearful thinking of it. Okay, so I hope this song this playlist gives you a sense of how loved you are and how admired you are by so many. Also hope you don't cry when I say this. I hope that you will play this playlist next year and remember your time here at VES and all of the people in your life that love you. My song that I chose for you is Wide Open Spaces by The Chicks. Because I'm just going to share the first part of this song. It goes like this. I will not sing it. Who doesn't know what I'm talking about? Who's never left home? Who's never struck out to find a dream and a life of their own? A place in the clouds, a foundation of stone. Many proceed and many will follow. A young girl's dreams no longer hollow. It takes the shape of a place out west or east coast. What it holds for her, she hasn't yet guessed. She needs wide open spaces, room to make her big mistakes. She needs new faces, and she knows the highest stakes. So, you have built a foundation of stone here at VES and in Lynchburg. Hopefully, Lynchburg and VES will always be here for you, and it will always be home for you. But I hope you go into the world and build your place in the clouds and discover yourself in the metaphorical wide open spaces. Thank you.
Mrs. Rem, I can't thank you enough for all that you have done for me over these past 4 years. Thank you for all your support, from helping me through class changes to giving me advice over coffee. You've been my rock through thick and thin, all while reminding me to stop being so hard on myself, and for that, I thank you. I'm going to miss you and the REM advisory so much next year. The advisory is ever so slightly inappropriate conversations about topics learned from student life during advisory lunch are something to be remembered. Everyone, I would encourage you to go follow the REM advisor on Instagram. You won't regret it. I'm not sure if this is a thing, but I decided to name my counselor talk. Here it is, entitled A Leader by Any Other Name. Picture this. It's May of 2020. COVID is raging. It's almost the end of my sophomore year. With the end of every year comes exams, the excited anticipation of summer, and of course, VES student leadership announcements. I had put my name in for student council and been told that I had been nominated for junior RA, so I awaited the decisions with nervous excitement. I was so nervous, in fact, that I decided to not watch the Zoom announcement for fear that I wouldn't do well on my AP Calc exam the next day if I wasn't elected into a role. Spoiler alert, I did pass the AP Calc exam, which to me is a feat in and of itself. The time came for the student council and RA positions to be announced. My attempt to remain oblivious to the outcomes of the announcement were foiled by celebratory texts spamming our group chat. As I looked through the texts, I saw that they were for my friends, but not for me. Unfortunately, my excitement for my friends was overshadowed by my disappointment in not being elected into a leadership role. I did feel frustrated, but mostly I was just sad. I was sad because I felt that these decisions meant that neither my peers nor my teachers trusted me to occupy those leadership positions. But I took that summer to reflect, and after an empowering conversation with Mrs. Rim, I decided that I wanted to go into my junior year open to new opportunities. I promised myself to get involved with as many things as I possibly could without consideration of title. I was probably a member of something like 10 different clubs, all of which I enjoyed. But more notably, I found my own way of being a leader on campus. This was through being a student leader in DEI efforts, taking prospective students on tours, joining the Mayor's Youth Council. And the best part was that I not only really enjoyed these things, but they allowed me to impact my community in a positive way. During the student leadership announcement last spring, I heard my name being called twice, once as a counselor and the other as a member of the honor committee. Now that I've been on both sides of the table, I've learned that leadership doesn't fit one single mold. It is seen in different ways in different people. There is no one correct type of counselor or junior RA or honor committee member or anything else. As leadership decisions come out in the next few weeks, I urge those who apply to consider that your path to leadership might look different than you imagined. Sometimes it might feel like you're going in a circle, but from my experience, if you have some sort of passion in what you're doing, you will accomplish it. You might find yourself comparing your abilities with those of others. In these moments, remind yourself that there is value in just being yourself. There is value in the unique perspective that you bring to the table. And now for some thank yous. For those of you who don't believe in the power of the VES open house, I'm proof of why it works. My parents got on board after attending one, and I'm so glad that they did. Thank you to the VES community for these 4 wonderful years. I first want to thank the college counseling team for dealing with me all year. You've made this process way less stressful and even kind of fun. To all my teachers for your dedication to help us succeed. I walk out of each of your classes inspired and motivated. To my friends for all the memories. We've certainly had some weird experiences, but I'm so glad to have shared them with you. To my parents, thank you for staying up late with me while I was doing my homework, for the chats in the car, and for always supporting me. And lastly, to Amog, I know I'm supposed to thank you because you're my sibling, but I'm not. I'm thanking you because you're my best friend. You're the smartest and kindest person I know, and I'll miss you so much next year. Thank you.